What type of effect do you think that has when a young black child grows up without his father?
A lot of effect on it.
Okay, let's speak on it.
Because they don't have a daddy.
Right.
They don't have nobody to teach them nothing.
Exactly. They don't have a guide. They don't have a hedge in the house. You understand? The Lord set up the black man to rule. Do you understand? The black man's job in the community is to stand up and get things in order.
That's right.
That's what we here for. You understand? Didn't nobody pay us to do this. Didn't nobody ask us to come out there to do this. But the Lord said, hey, if you a man, hold the charge. Understand? Go and teach my people the commandments of God.
That's right.
That's what the man's job is supposed to be in the house. Because remember, let's get there. 1 Timothy 3 and 5. 1 Timothy 3 and 5. I'm going to show you something. This is what a man is supposed to be ruling at. Read.
1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house.
How to do what?
Rule his own house.
That's the man's job. He's supposed to be ruling his household.
That's
as far as the so-called black community is concerned, right? We have a lot of fornication going on. Would you say that we're married more, or we got boyfriend and girlfriend more? Or we got baby daddies, baby mamas more, right? I'm going to show you something. Because the thing about that is, God don't like that. God, that's the reason that God is jacking us up as a people. Because we keep breaking his commandments. I'm going to show y'all something. Read that. Again, from the top.
Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
So the Bible says marriage is honorable. How do y'all feel about that? Is marriage honorable?
Yeah.
You agree? Yeah. So why aren't we married? Let me ask you a question. You got kids? You got kids? Are you married to the father?
No.
You got kids? No kids? What about you? Were you married to the father? No. You see there? So we're saying marriage is honorable, but our actions don't match.
That's right.
When you look at our community, the way that we live in, the things that we say that we like, our actions don't match. The Bible says marriage is honorable. Then why we ain't holding it up in our community? Why we not honoring the statute of marriage? The Bible says marriage is honorable. Read.
And the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
So when it says God will judge whoremongers and adulterers, what do you think God mean by that? I want to see what y'all think. What you think?
I mean, lustful, that's not doing it by the Bible, like having sex before marriage, sleeping around.
Right. So watch this. I want, you know what I want. When the Bible says God will judge us for something, right? That means that the Lord will bring evil things upon us, things to destroy us for not listening to us. I'm explaining. For example, you said that you do have children, correct? So when they don't listen to you, when they don't follow the instructions that you have gave to them, right? What do you do to them?
I get mad.
You get mad? Did you punish them?
Nah, not really. Just depends on like what it is.
And guess what? That's also a problem. You want to know why? Because when we don't get punished, we do the same thing over and over and over and over again. You understand? So I'm going to show you something. But this is one of the ways that the Lord will judge us in our community. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 61. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
Read it slow.
Also every sickness.
Every disease that you can think of. Read.
And every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
The Bible says not written in the book. Can you find AIDS in the Bible? Can you find herpes in the Bible? Can you find syphilis, gonorrhea in the Bible? No. But the Lord said every sickness and every plague, read,
which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
You see there? That's how the Lord feels about when we commit fornication, when we commit adultery, when we're lusting after someone else's spouse that does not belong to us. The Lord got judgments waiting on us. And this is how you know this is referring to us. What group of people, out of white people, out of Chinese people, out of Arab people, statistically, What race of people got the highest STD rate? Black people.
Bring it out.
You want to know why? Because we keep transgressing the laws of God. That's why we out here, because we sick of the thing that's punishing the so-called black community. We trying to bring change. We trying to heal the things that have not been restored by the elders and the people that were supposed to be putting these things in place.
Right.
The Christian pastor that's supposed to be putting these things in place.
Right.
The father that's supposed to be in the household that's supposed to be putting these things in place.
Right.
That's what we coming out here to fix. You understand that? Because we talked about that too. What else happens when we have sex outside of marriage? Single parent households. The child grows up without a father. Right? What type of effect do you think that has when a young black child grows up without his father?
A lot of effect on it.
Okay, let's speak on it.
Because they don't have a daddy.
Right?
They don't have nobody to teach them nothing.
Exactly. They don't have a guide. They don't have a hedge in the house. You understand? The Lord set up the black man to rule. Do you understand? The black man's job in the community is to stand up and get things in order.
That's right.
That's what we here for. You understand? Didn't nobody pay us to do this. Didn't nobody ask us to come out there to do this. But the Lord said, hey, if you a man, hold the charge. Understand? Go and teach my people the commandments of God.
All of the enemy, them a go be a prey one day. Oh, what time for rise up, rise up. This are your kingdom of fall right now. Your time up, time up. This is the work of God. This are your kingdom reach to the stage of decadence. The water rise up and it's very evident. We come to claim our roots and take back our heritage. We were never savages, taken from the decayed state. Now my kindred wake, meditating scriptures and increase with faith. While leading reach destruction await. Bind them kings with chain. Oh, what time to rise up, rise up. This are your kingdom of fall right now. Your time.
Hey, Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. This is Captain Immanuel. Subscribe to IUIC Arkansas on YouTube. First and foremost, scan that QR code. Follow us on all platforms to help us push this truth. Facebook, Instagram, X.com, TikTok. Need I say more? Everything. Just type in IUIC Arkansas and hit the follow or subscribe button, alright? Most High in Christ bless.
Let's get there. 1 Timothy 3 and 5. 1 Timothy 3 and 5. I'm going to show you something. This is what a man is supposed to be ruling at. Read.
1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house.
How to do what?
Rule his own house.
That's the man's job. He's supposed to be ruling his household.
That's right.
You understand that? That is the issue. When there is no man, who's ruling the house? You understand? Because you got boys. You got boys, right? Can a woman teach?
I got girls.
You got all girls? Okay, but guess what? I want that. It's Sirach 7. I'm going to show you something. Sirach 7. You know what I want? Waiting for the daughter. I think it's verse 25. It's important for young daughters to have their fathers as well. I'm going to show you the correlation between the father in the household and these young girls. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 24. Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body.
You see what the Bible says, if you have daughters, you're supposed to have a care of their body. This is what I mean. When a young girl is growing up without the father in the house, it's statistically proven. They have faster rates to have children outside of marriage. They get pregnant younger. You understand? It's the father, the black man, that's supposed to be in that house saying, hey, where you going with that on?
Bring it out.
Who you going to the movies with? Right. What you mean you ain't in this house by the street light? Matter of fact, my daughter ain't gonna be seeing no man until she is a grown woman. Ain't no boyfriend and girlfriend. That's fornication according to the Bible. Read.
Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body, and so not thyself cheerful toward them.
You know what it mean when they say don't show yourself cheerful to them? Don't mean everything ain't a game. Everything, she's saying, Daddy, you stupid. Look at this. No. You supposed to say, hey, that ain't how a young lady should act. You understand? Because guess what happens when it's single mothers in the house? They listening to Cardi B together. They listening to Sexy Red together. I seen a video. It was a black woman and her daughter. They both in the camera like this, talking about that little girl is 3 years old. Can't be no more older than 3 years old. You understand? But that's where the black man come in, because he's not gonna be allowing that with his daughter. If the black man is not in the household, these type of things don't get installed. That's the effect on these young little girls. Now, I want to get this, Ezekiel 16:44, because your daughter, right? She's paying attention to everything that you do. Because the issue with a lot of children is the parents like to say, do this, do that, but they don't do it themselves. And that's where they be going off, because a child gonna follow your example way before they follow what you tell them to do. Read that.
Ezekiel chapter 16:44. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother.
As is the mother. So however you are, read.
So is her daughter.
Read that again.
As is the mother, so is her daughter.
So that's the question. Are you setting the most righteous example for them young little girls? You see what I'm saying? So even when it comes to fornication, that sin and the effects of it, it goes longer and way beyond just us. You understand? We got to think about the other generation that even come after that's going to be affected by these sins. Matter of fact, I got another example for you. Even with the sicknesses and plagues, right? If you have a certain illness or disease, if you have a baby with that STD, the baby will contract it as it comes out. You will curse and mess up your baby's whole life based upon going against the laws of God and the judgment that he's placed upon us as a people. But we're not thinking like this because we don't have this Bible.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.